Hey, welcome back to A Moment to Move. Today's class is a little bit different. We're going to be moving, but we're also going to be holding. So the idea is we're just going to hold poses for around a minute. We'll see how we're going and how we're traveling. It's not a very overcomplicated class, but either which way, I hope you like it. It's going to be slow. We're going to focus on the breath, and yeah, let's see how we go. So let's start with some wrist strengthening exercises just to warm them up a little bit. And from there, we'll move into our holds. So just shoulders stacked over the wrists, and we're just going to come up onto those knuckles. And then you can even come up onto the fingertips, lower down to the first knuckle, to the fingertips. So we'll just do 8 more of these. And we're just going to breathe through. I'm just going to strengthen up those wrists just a little bit. And I have already lost count, so we'll go for 5 more. Just onto the wrists, onto the knuckles, onto the fingertips. 3. Utilize the breath. 2. Last one. Just gently rock forward and back, just stretching them out a little bit. Make little clockwise circles. And then anti-clockwise circles, pushing into the index finger and the thumb, eyes of the elbows facing forward. And we're going to start in plank pose. So stack your plank, shoulders over the wrists, pushing into the ground. Eyes of the elbows facing forward. Pull the shoulder blades down your back. Squeeze the legs, bring those kneecaps up. And breathe. Focus. You might want to shake out your neck. And look at yourself a yes and no. First plank hold of the day. For some, not for me. I've had a few today. But they're always fun. You can rock forward and back on your tiptoes. You can also place your knees down and push into the ground, keeping this plank hold so you've still got the same activation. Utilize the breath. Get ready. So create a solid foundation in that left hand. Externally rotate the shoulder blades to the eyes of the elbows facing forward. And we're just going to roll onto the outside of the left heel, sticking the left foot, sticking your right arm up to the sky. Pull the shoulder blade onto the back, but push the ground away from you, sticking your hips up to the sky. You can place that left knee to the ground if you choose to, and you can even bring your right foot in front of your left foot to create a bit more of a solid foundation. Keep pushing into the ground, pushing the hips up to the sky, squeezing the glutes. You can extend the right hand overhead, either which way. Pull the left hand towards the right, left foot towards the left hand. From here, we're going to lift up that right foot, step to the top of the mat, coming in to crescent lunge. You can have a bend in the left knee. You have a little bit more of a straight left knee. You want a nice bend in the right knee is the overall, because we're going to try and work this right quad today. Squeeze the thighs together. Now you can reach your arms up overhead. And just breathe. I placed my camera in the wrong position on that side plank and I couldn't quite see the time, so we were 5 seconds shy. So, but it's all fun. It's all a challenge. 55 seconds in a side plank is always challenging. And so, here's a minute in a crescent lunge, moving in to warrior 2. So, be prepared, be ready. Bring that navel into the spine, squeeze the glutes, extend through the fingertips. And from here, we're going to pivot the left foot down onto the ground. Keep that bend in the right knee. Open up through the arms for warrior 2. You want to push in to the outside edge of your left foot. You want to bend into that right knee. Extend through the fingertips, but at the same time pull the shoulder blades onto your back. And you can gaze over the middle finger. Try to keep your torso stacked on top of your hips and keep that knee tracking the same way as your toes. Keep extending through the hands. You might want to bend a little bit deeper into that right knee, but keep the arch risen on the left foot. And again, you can have a heel to heel alignment or a heel to arch alignment, completely your choice. Not here for too much longer. Keeping your arms extended is also a builder of muscles and fatiguing of muscles. From here, take a nice big inhale, exhale, place the hands onto the ground, step that right foot back, lower down into forearm plank. Push into the elbows, squeeze the glutes. Bring that navel to spine. Relax the shoulders. And breathe. Keep focused. It's meant to be challenging, so if your legs or your forearms are shaking, embrace it, smile, and keep pushing the ground away from you. Most important. And from here, we're just going to lower the hips down to the ground, place the hands underneath the shoulders, and push ourselves up into upward facing dog. Again, you might want to walk the feet a little bit further apart to create room in that lower back. You want a slight engagement of the glutes. Push into the ground. Drop the shoulders. Down your back. And embrace an up dog hold. Broaden through the collarbones. Breathe. From here, we're going to roll back into a downward facing dog, which is going to be our rest pose. And you've still got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll back. Downward facing dog. You may want to pedal out the feet. Scratch the nose if it's itchy. Push into the ground still. We're not going to hold down dog for a minute. We're going to get straight back into it. Just take 2 more breaths. And on your next inhale, we're going to roll forward, coming back to that lovely plank hold. Again, hands towards your feet, feet towards the hands. Push the ground away from you. Shoulder blades down the spine. Squeeze the glutes. Try to count your breath, so maybe inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. I know it's challenging. I'm feeling it too. Make sure the eyes and the elbows are facing forward. Keep the posture. We're going to roll onto that side plank in just a minute, which is now coming to the outside of the right foot. Lift the left arm up to the sky. Push into the inside index finger and the thumb of your right hand. Extend through the left hand. Pull that right hand to the left, to the right foot to the right hand. And again, you can have your left foot out in front of you. You can even place your right knee down to the ground. You're still extending through the side body. Come back to whatever position feels good for you. I can see the clock this time, so we are going to hold for 55 seconds still, because that's what we did on the other side. Not long to go. I don't know what's worse, seeing the camera, seeing the timer or not. Lift the left foot up, step to the top of the mat, pivot the back toes round, rising up into your crescent lunge. Well, I'm sure your shoulders are feeling it now. I know mine are. Holds are fun, complicated, and mind challenging, especially when you can see the time, because all you're thinking is hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And I don't know if it plays on your mind a little bit more or not. Anyway, this pose is squeeze your thighs together, create a nice strong foundation in your hips, and again, you can lower that right knee down a little bit more. You can have that right leg straight. Make sure the glutes are squeezed. Extend through the fingertips up and over the head. Bring that navel to the spine. Make sure you can see the big toe and the toe next to it. And from here, we're going to pivot the right foot down to the mat, extending through the fingers, coming into your warrior two. And this is why I started on the left side first, with the right foot forward, so I could walk you through it a little bit easier and show you what I mean. Extend through the fingers, maybe take a deeper bend in that left foot. Again, you can have heel to arch alignment. You want to keep pushing through the outer edge of the right foot. You maybe want to bend a little deeper into that left knee. Pull the shoulder blades onto your back. Extend through the fingers and sink a little bit lower and breathe. Not much longer. Maybe sink a little bit lower for the last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to pivot the hands round, top of the mat, coming in to forearm plank. Same sort of cues as plank, but on the forearms obviously. So you can bring the elbows towards your feet towards your elbows, bring the navel to spine. You can have your arms out parallel in front of you, or you can clasp the hands a little bit. And if you choose to, you can place the knees on the ground as well, just like in plank, and keep that internal rotation of the pelvis here, bringing that, squeezing that glutes, pushing your hips back towards the ground, but up at the same time by doming the upper back. And breathing. Keep that nasal breathing going. Not much longer in forearm plank. Inhale, exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the hips down to the ground. Place the shoulders, hands under your shoulders, and pull yourself up to upward facing dog. Again, broadening through the collarbones, pushing the ground away from you, not collapsing into the shoulders. Push through the tops of the feet. Feet slightly wider apart. Creates a little bit more room. And pull your head back rather than look up to the sky. It's nice to have a sort of neutral neck. So often we either sit in this position or this position. So a neutral neck is quite nice to have. Pull the shoulder blades onto the back. Push into the index finger and the thumb. And focus your breath. Keep the glutes engaged. Keep pushing into the hands. And from here, we're just going to push back into child's pose. So bring your knees as wide as the mat, feet together, extend the arms out in front of you. Drop the chin and the chest to the ground. And place your forehead on the mat. From here we're going to just come forward, sort of coming into a forearm plank, but instead we're just going to come into Sphinx pose. So push your elbows into the ground, elbows under the shoulders, bring your chest through, shoulder blades onto the back. Again, I like to have my feet quite wide, just to create a little bit more room. And breathe. It's just stretching out the front body. And we have done a bit of work on that today with the planks and the forearm planks. And this time, from here, we're just going to extend the left hand because it's easy for you guys to see. I'm going to have mine at a 90-degree angle, but you can have yours at straight out to the side. I'm going to have my elbow bent. I'm just going to roll onto the outside of my left hip, bring my right leg over the top, place that shoulder to the ground, ear to the ground, come up onto the right fingertips, and now if I push my left elbow into the ground, I'm going to feel more of a stretch through that front shoulder joint. Take 2 deep breaths. Come back to neutral, and we're simply going to switch over to the other side. Bend that left knee, roll onto the outside of the right hip. Bring the left foot over the back, and place your ear to the ground, tent onto the left fingers, and again, pushing that right elbow into the ground creates more of a stretch. Come back to neutral. Now from here, you can either just roll over onto your back and take a well-deserved corpse pose, where you place your feet as wide as the mat, hands alongside you, palms up to the sky, and just close down the eyes, regain your breath, and you're more than welcome to stay there for as long as you need. If you are only looking for that moment to move, you can come up to a nice seated position, close down the eyes, stay there for a couple of minutes, or if you really don't have the time, I would like to thank you so much for joining me today. Please leave a comment in the section below if you have any questions, and yeah, I'm glad I could help you find a moment to move and enjoy the rest of your day.